Hello, I am Dragoș, and in this video I'd like to show you how you can install Plausible and Google Analytics alternative that you can self-host on your own VPS server. This tool, it is a lightweight alternative to Google Analytics, and it will help you gather the most important stats of your WordPress website and every website that you may have. This is the UI of the Plausible. You see here that I've installed it on this analytics.bdos.com website yesterday, and with this tool you can see stats like the number of visitors. You see the current visitors, for instance. If you check here, you see from where, the pages, the country, the device. Also you have access to the clicks that they are doing. If you want to check the today, you can see here the top sources, top pages, country, links. You see here like the outbound links, clicks that were done on the website. So these are some of the basic stats that Plausible can help you monitor. It is lightweight alternative and it can be self-hosted. To host this you will need your own VPS. So I have written here an article with all the steps and commands that we are gonna run, and you have some options to create a VPS. Hetzner is the most affordable one, DigitalOcean, Vultr. In this we're gonna use DigitalOcean because it's the most known one, and it will be easy to configure it. So first thing that we need to do is to go and create a droplet that we're gonna use to install Plausible on. Okay, let's go and create one. We're gonna use Ubuntu for this. You can choose the TLS or 2110. In this case I use the 2110 version, but the same things apply and same commands. We're gonna use the regular one. We choose the $5 with one CPU and 25 gigabytes SSD disk. Okay, that data center I will let it in San Francisco. Here we set a password for the root account. You can use the SSH keys to be more secure, but for these purposes I will just create a account with a password. Okay, here you can put the name Ubuntu. Let's say it like this: Ubuntu Plausible Analytics. Okay, then we hit create, and this will create the VPS for us with Ubuntu. It will take about 1 minute. Then we're gonna need to log in to it. The shape of one CPU and 1 gigabyte of RAM, it is enough for the size that doesn't have a lot of traffic. So for my site that has only a couple of hundred visitors a day, this shape can hold Plausible without an issue. I've seen that the load is not high on the server. So in case you have more sites or more traffic, you may need to use a bigger shape with at least 2 CPUs and 4 gigabytes of memory. Okay, this is the IP address that we have for the server. Next we're gonna log in to the server. To do this we're gonna need to use the terminal in macOS or the PuTTY in Windows. To this we just log in with SSH root and the server IP. Then we just need to go and set up the Plausible. Okay, right now we're logged into the environment. If we hit a top, we'll see that we have the 1 gigabyte. This server doesn't have swap, so first thing that we need to do is to add swap to this. Okay, let's go and add swap to the VPS server. I've linked in here an article that can help you add the swap space, so we just need to follow this to add the swap. First we just create a file. Let's copy it like this. Okay, let's run this and initiate the block size. Okay, next we change the access rules on the file. Then we make it as a swap file. Then we activate the swap. Okay, then we edit the etc tab and add the swap file there, so after we reboot the server, the swap to be used. Okay, we just need to go here and add the line in there like this. Right now we just exit. Okay, so right now we've added the swap. Next thing that we need to go is to go and update the packages. Let's go and do that. Sudo apt update. This will check to see if there are any new packages that needs to be updated. Oh, we need to wait, and after, if there is any package, we just need to run the upgrade. This will upgrade all the packages. This thing, it will take about 2 or 3 minutes. I will pause this and come back when this it's finished. Now the packages are installed, and they're asking us if you want the kernel to be updated. We hit yes, we hit OK in here. Right now we have everything updated. Next we do a reboot. Okay, we wait for about 1 minute, and then we can try to log in again to this VPS. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's restarted. Okay, right now we upgraded. Next we need to install the nginx package and the git package. So Plausible, it will be installed in a Docker container when we use nginx to do a reverse proxy to that container. So basically we can set up our domain and SSL or a subdomain, and it will be directed to the container that we have. We'll see this in the future. Let's go and install this packages in here. This should finish in again 1 minute or so. Okay, the installation it's finished. Next we need to go and install Docker and Docker Compose. First we need to run these commands to add a stable repository for Docker and generate the GPG key. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Repository next. Okay, next we do another sudo apt update. This should be fast, it shouldn't be anything to be updated. Next we're gonna install Docker container, and we'll proceed with the other steps. Let's copy this and run it, because there wasn't anything that needed updated. Okay, we're gonna install these packages. This will take about 1 minute to complete. Okay, everything was installed. Next, we'll move to the OPT folder, because in here we want to clone our Plausible GitLab project and create a folder with that name. Okay, then we go into the Plausible directory, and in here we have some files. So you see here, like, we have the configuration file and the Docker compose ones. So next we need to go into the Plausible configurations and change some things, but before that we need to generate an hash key that we're gonna use to configure Plausible with. We just hit this, open SSL and create the random key. We copy the random key and we store it so it can be used in the installation. We're gonna see immediately where. Okay, I have created and stored the key. So next, let's go and change the configuration file. In here you have the options to add the admin user email, username, password, base URL. This thing needs to be with the full URL, I mean with HTTPS or HTTP, depending on how you will want to use this. And the secret key base, that is the key that we just generated. Another options that can be added in here, you can add an SMTP that can be used for Plausible to send emails or reports and things like that. So we're gonna use only the first part. If we go and check the Plausible configuration, we're gonna see here the basic things that we need to replace. I've already prepared them, and we're gonna take a look. Okay, in here you see that I've added the username, my email address, the user email, username, the password, and the base URL. I use analytics2bdos.com to create this, and also I've added this key that was generated before. We save this. Okay, so right now we have the configuration prepared. Then we just need to run docker compose with up minus the option to create for us the containers. This will take about 1 minute or so to generate everything. I will let it run and at the end see the containers that were created. Everything is installed right now. The Postgres database, the ClickHouse server, application, Plausible application, everything that this thing needs to run. We'll see this in a couple of seconds when we check the containers that are up. Should be 4. Okay, it finished. If we run docker ps, you'll see these containers that were brought up with the application. Next, what we need to do is to allow nginx the full access in the firewall. To do this, we run this command, allow nginx full. Next, we need to go and add the plausible reverse proxy into the nginx configuration. To do this, we need to create a file into sites available into nginx. To do this, we just run the vi and it will create a file for us there. In this file, we need to add this piece of code. So basically, we'll add a server that will listen to the 80 port, the HTTP one first, with the server name that is your domain. In our case, it is analytics2.bdos.com. Access log, error logs, and the location, it will be the proxy. The proxy is actually the container with the port. So basically, it's the local host with 8000 port and the headers that will be forwarded. So I prepare already something like this. So let's add them in here. Okay, in here you see that I've added analytics2.bdos.com, the subdomain then that we're gonna use. We write and save this configuration. Next, we need to create a symbolic link to the site enable with these configuration files. So this to be used by nginx. Okay, next we check to see the configuration is okay. Everything looks okay, and then we restart the service. Reload nginx. This will reload the service with the configuration. Okay, next we need to go and redirect our subdomain to the IP address of this server. I'm using CyberPanel to host the DNS on this, so I will log in here and I will go and add the username admin in my case, and I will add a subdomain that will link to the IP address of the server. This is the IP address. Let's go and DNS add or delete records. We choose the windows.com website. You see here that for analytics I already added one. We go and add a new record. Analytics2 TLS. I'll put it 100 just for this thing to be fast, and hit add. And in here you see that we have a subdomain with analytics2 that has been added. Next we are gonna try and access this one and see if it's accessible. It can take a couple of minutes to be synchronized. Okay, you see here that right now we have the plausible set on this. This thing is not secure. So if you try to log in with the email address and with the password, you will be able to do so. But this thing is blocking me because it's not saying that it's not secured. So let's add the certificate. This is the next part. So we want to install a certificate in this proxy. So these to be used with the HTTPS and be secured. So to do this, we just install ShareBot first. Okay, and in here hit yes, and this will install the ShareBot, and then we just need to run this command with -nginx -d, your domain name, and this will create a certificate for us, and it will update also the configuration for the nginx. We're gonna see after what is happening. Okay, here you hit OK. It will restart this service for us. So let's wait and have this thing finished. Meanwhile, I prepare the okay, let me put here takes two .com like this, and this will create a certificate. This is the email address for the certificate renewal. I use my email address, term of services, yes. Here we don't want to receive other communications. And right now the chatbot will take care of everything for us, and after we should be able to use the HTTPS. If we check right now the file that we've created, you'll see that it will use the 443 port with the certificate that we've created. You see here like things were modified. Right now it's listening on 443 port with SSL. This is the certificate that we've created. It has a redirect if we don't have if the requests are coming to the 80 port. So right now if we go and access this, we should have a valid certificate. You see here that the certificate it's valid, it's going to HTTPS without any error. Right now we can log in again to this. Okay, let me type the password. So right now we are logging here. We just need to add and go and add the website like this. We can do that. Here you choose the time zone, Bucharest for me, add snipping, and you just need to add this in the header of your WordPress website for this to function. For instance, you hit this copy in here, and let's go and see how we can add it in our WordPress website. I'm in the Cadence theme, and in here we have an option with custom scripts, and you see here that it's already added for the analytics one. We just paste it for the two. And right now start collecting, and right now we should have the site added. Okay. Clear the cache to be sure that the code was installed, and everything it should work. You see that right now we have a unique visitor. If we check it from here, it's from Romania. It has a desktop, so the VPS has the Plausible installed. We can set up weekly reports in the domain settings like this, monthly reports. Also set goals. You can add your search console, visibility, and things like that. So Plausible, it's a good alternative to Google Analytics, especially if you want to host your own analytics. It's a lightweight one, but unfortunately it doesn't have all the features that Google has. So in case you are creating custom advanced reports and things like that, you need to be sure that you will be able to do this with Plausible. But for someone that needs the basic things, it shouldn't be any issues, and this will work perfectly. So in this way, you're installing Plausible on your own VPS. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to the video if you like it. Thanks, and have a nice day.